Very good evening, all of you. I hope I'm clearly visible and audible. Need a go ahead from you first. So, welcome to this session. Let's have an overview of the general English section across the 3 slots of SNAP, right? So, we are finally done and dusted with SNAP, right? Just give me a second. Let me just shift my video a little so that I am not in the way of the text. Sorry, something odd happened here. Just a second, huh? I hope you're not scared. All right. Yes. So I hope I am clearly visible and audible. Need a go ahead from you so that we can begin. Hi, Jasuman. All right. All right. Visible, audible, Jasuman. So, how was your paper? First of all, tell me, how did you find slot 3? Before I begin this discussion about all the slots, about some questions, how did you find slot 3, general English particularly? Yes, tell me. Okay, perfect, perfect. Hi, Praharsh. Thank you, Jessamine, for confirming. Right. Okay, gave only slot 3, found that English was easy. Absolutely correct, Anirban. I agree with you. In fact, it was the easiest out of all the 3 slots, right? That's amazing, Krunal. Hi, Ayush. Good, good, Ayush. I hope that the accuracy is also great. Then you have a chance for all the calls that you want. Hi, Lokanta. Hello, hello. All right, so let's dive into it. Right, so if I give you the highlights, I think all of you know that the paper was similar overall in terms of slot, in terms of, let's say, the level of difficulty. Overall, we would say that it is similar. Okay, some sections, let's say, were difficult, let's say more difficult. Some sections were easier. So overall, it compensated, and overall, it was similar. Okay, and therefore, we are expecting the cutoffs also to be pretty similar. Uh, English was the easiest section in slot 3. Yes, all of you are already agreeing with me on this. So I think we can comfortably say this. 42 attempts. That's good, Aditya. Some issues with the system. Okay, that's a little unfortunate, but I hope they got addressed and you were able to attempt all the, I mean, at least look at all the questions, glance at all the questions. English बहुत सही था. Great, great. Very happy to know this. Hi, Devesh. Hi, hi. Okay, okay. Praharsh, for this, we will conduct specific college versus percentile, college versus core sessions. So watch those, okay? And there I'll be able to give you a more accurate idea of this after some analysis. Maths was, yes, that's what I've been hearing, that quant was also lengthy for some of you. That's what, see, quant questions were lengthy. Most of the questions had none of the options as the correct answer. So I've also got this feedback from my team as well. So, if you look at the pattern, exactly the same pattern in terms of the number of questions, and I'm very happy that for my section, General English, exactly the same difficulty level also, it was pretty easy, right? So, pretty sorted when it comes to General English. Now, if I compare it across the slots, yes, uh, अरे वाह, that's good. English ने धोखा नहीं दिया. English has been your consistent true friend. That's amazing. In test 1 also, we reported that it was easy. We even discussed all the questions with you, right, for slot 1. General English, in fact, gave you more time for the other 2 sections. I'm sure that happened today as well with you, that you got more time for your QA and for your LR sections, right? The good thing, of course, about Snap has been that for the last 3 years, as in if I count this year as well, there have been no RCs and they've been pretty wise not to give RCs. Uh, just like slot 2, there were many grammar questions today as well. 9 grammar questions out of 15. So that's a majority, right? Easy section just like slot 2, and here we can say that it was the easiest. Okay, okay. 14 attempts. Wow, okay. All right. We'll have to see, Vignesh. See, I mean, we'll have to see how the cutoffs pan out. I mean, if I have to say, you have a high probability, right? If you ask my opinion, high probability here. Okay. All right. So in test one, these were the types, question types, right? So synonyms, antonyms, they have been pretty consistent across lots. Spellings have been consistent. Compound words have been consistent. Okay. Then apart from this, proverbs, idioms, they were asked today as well, right? Penny wise, pound foolish. That was asked today. Then apart from this, modal verbs were absent today. So no, wait. There was a question on modal verbs, right? Yes, there was a question. We'll come to it. We'll come to it. Right? And fill in the blanks were there across all slots. So these were some common topics across all slots. Okay. Apart from this, there was a specific focus on parts of speech, preposition, conjunction, adjective, adverb asked separately from you. Right. So this is a lesson for you for your coming exams. Okay. If you're taking TISNET, then be very thorough with all your parts of speech. That's what I've been telling you consistently, isn't it? Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Let's come to that part. Okay. So slot 3 had these question types. As I said, 9 of them were grammar questions, right? Now, idioms were asked. Okay, so there was a proverb, penny wise, pound foolish. What does it mean? Penny wise, pound foolish? So when you are penny wise, you take care, you are very uh, prudent with spending your pennies, but not with your pounds. As in that you try to save money, so you try to save small amounts of money, but are not careful about large amounts of money, right? It's usually used in a scenario where, let's say, for saving money in the near term, you're actually losing out. You're actually going into the losses in the longer term. So if I implement a cost cutting measure in my company, which helps me in the short term, but ultimately it leads to losing out on customers and therefore future profits of large amounts, that's when I am being penny wise but pound foolish. Right? Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Let's have a look at the question straight away now. So there was a question on active passive voice, right? Uh, in fact, there were two questions, I believe. So one of the questions was this. Just a second. She asked her husband. Geeta asked her husband, "Will you pick up Sanika on your way to office?" Right. So if I have to convert it to passive voice, see, first of all, here this is in the active voice. Geeta asked her husband. So her husband was asked by Geeta, "Will Sanika be picked up by him on his way to office?" Or will, if let's say I don't have to convert it into indirect speech, will Sanika be picked up by you? Be picked up by you on your way to office. That will be the passive voice of this sentence. So this was a question on active passive voice, right? Okay, then let's come to the next one. You had to identify the correct spelling and these four options were given to you. So what is the answer? What is the correct spelling? Tell me. Slot 3 actually happened in two shifts, so to say. In some cities, it happened from 2 to 3, okay, and in some cities, it happened at 4:30. Yes. Okay. All right. These were not there in slot 3. Okay, so then this is the latest one. This is the latest one, right? So in case you've given this one, so this was malleable, malleable. This was the spelling with an I. Okay, so this is the correct answer here, right? The fourth option is the correct one here, right? That question was direct to indirect speech. Okay, so in that case, Geeta asked her husband if he would pick up Sanika on his way to the office. Okay, will you pick up? That's what she asked. No, so if he would pick up Sanika on his way to office, if it was a direct indirect speech question. Okay, so I've got inputs from our team, and this is what they gave me. Right, if it was a direct indirect speech question, then this is going to be the answer. Then here you had to choose the conjunction. Quoth Sir Ralph, "It will be lighter soon, comma, for there is dawn of rising moon." there is dawn of rising moon. You have to identify the conjunction here. What is the conjunction in this sentence? Yes. For is the conjunction here. You know, for is a conjunction also. It's not just a preposition. We did this a lot of times in the class. Okay, so for those of you for whom this question came, for coordinating conjunctions, fanboys, remember? And for is the conjunction that is being used here. So that's what you had to identify. Okay, then coming to the next one, here we had to, okay, one sentence was given to you, so we don't have the exact sentence. In case you remember the sentence, then please tell me and I'll discuss that with you. This is what we call a hypothetical conditional. Hypothetical conditional. We had again discussed such questions in the class. So in case this came for you, if she had clung to the wooden plank, she dashed the coast. What should I write here? Slot 4 overall, again, if you're calling it slot 4, again, English was pretty easy there as well. You can see the questions for yourself. No, malleable is a common word, right? For is a conjunction that we teach you. This is the first conjunction that we teach you when you learn coordinating conjunctions. Then, if she had clung, whenever you have this language, the consequence, the outcome is always followed by would have. So, the option that had would have reached is the correct answer, right? So pretty easy standard questions that you could do in case you had prepared for grammar and vocabulary with us, right? Then there was this question on modal verb. Okay, you had to choose the correct modal verb and the options were ought, a sentence was given and 4 words were underlined there. Ought, strengthen, layman, and the last one was rise. So of course, there's just one modal verb here. Which one is it? Yes. Slot 2, bache, I have already released that. Slot 2, we have already had a general English questions discussion of that. Okay. Slot 1, Srinivas sir discussed along with the analysis. Right. We are currently discussing slot 3, whatever questions I could get. For instance, the spelling of chivalry was asked. Right. I think this was there in the 2 to 3 wala paper, chivalry. This is the correct spelling of chivalry. Then there was a question that was asked, which of the following is not a compound word? The answer for that was standard. Right? So I've got some of these questions as well. So chivalry ka spelling ye hota hai, right? Chivalry is it's a noun. It means when you give respect to the to females, basically, when you show respect towards the weaker gender, as they called it earlier, right? Standard is not a compound word. Okay, nothing compound here. Okay, ought is the answer here. Ought is the answer here. Right? So, ought is a modal verb and no other word here is a modal verb. Okay, this is a common verb, not a modal verb. This is a noun. Okay, to rise is again a normal verb, not a modal verb. So, 1 is the answer here. Such an easy question and a scoring 1. Right? Here you had to fill in with the, I think, fill in the blank with the adjectives. So an adjective question right here, you could even categorize it as a vocabulary question, right? Just like we had the deep sleep question in slot 2. Then you were asked a preposition question as well. So see, they were very specific about the parts of speech that they were asking, okay? They were asking pretty specific parts of speech, as you can see in this question. So there was a sentence that was given and you had to tell the parts of speech of wow and because. Yes. Okay, so probably in 2 to 3, there was no modal verb. At 4:30, modal verb was asked. Probably that was the case. Okay. No compound word question. Okay. Again, probably then it was 4:30. Right. So these questions are probably. Acha, standard and chivalry wala 2 to 3 slot mein tha. See. Okay. Good. Suffix was also asked. All right. All right. So in case you have some specific queries, you can ask me, okay? I'll clarify that. You can just type in the question in the chat box and I'll clarify that. Okay, no problems there. So what is the part of speech of wow? And what is the part of speech of because? Yes, Chaitanya, as I told you that slot 3 happened in two parts, 2 to 3 p.m., 4:30 to 5:30. Okay, so probably most of these questions are from 4:30 to 5:30, right? So anybody who took it 4:30 to 5:30 in the cities in which it happened, these questions came in their slot, right? We've just got these. That's why I don't have the detailed options as well. हाँ, compound 2 to 3 में आया था. All right. Not a compound word. Standard is not a compound word. The question was which of them is not a compound word. Standard compound नहीं है. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Just a second. Just a second. Pennywise, yes, it's related to financial situation. I think that's very, very clear to us now. Because is a conjunction and wow is an interjection. Absolutely correct. Okay. So absolutely correct there. So a part of speech question that could have been attempted easily. Okay. Then we know the meaning. This is related to financial situation. ये interjection है, ये conjunction है. Okay. Going ahead, see, a poem has been asked again in all the three slots, right? It has been asked in all the three slots. So here also, now this time the question changed. Which line does not fit? Does not fit the standard word order that was asked. Okay, so you had to read the question pretty carefully, right? Okay, antonym of servile that was asked. What does servile mean? Yes, what does servile mean? So, servile, the meaning is somebody who's very obedient, very pliant, right? The antonyms would be assertive, somebody who's very bossy. Okay, these would be the antonyms, right? Then this new question type was asked. You had to give the mood of the inspiration in this sentence. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Okay, Swami Vivekananda said this. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. So what is the mood of the inspiration? Four options were given to you, right? One was that it's a standardization. One was that it's a stipulation. Okay, then there was one that said that it's a stimulus. And one input that I've got from my team, I'm not very sure if this word was there, was stern or sterning, something of that sort. It's nothing, there's nothing stern about it. This is not even a stipulation. Basically, the person is trying to stimulate you, motivate you. So if these were the options, then C is the answer here. Right? C is the answer here. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Analogy was asked related to cooking. Okay, okay. Critical reasoning was not there in 2 to 3 p.m. Riddhi. There was no verbal reasoning in 2 to 3 p.m. Right? So, no, I'll not be discussing that. Right? Uh, there was a specific question on adjective and adverb. Right? So, these were the questions that were there. Any question from your end, any question that you remember, I can discuss that. I can discuss that. All right, let me just read your comments. Steering or was it steering or was it stirring? Steering or stirring? Yes. Steering था या stirring था? You have to tell me that. So steering तो steering wheel वाला steer होता है, right? And I mean it does not fit here. So यहाँ पर तो फिर stimulus ही fit हो रहा है. All right. Okay. So any other question? Cause effect was there, yes, cause effect was there, course of action was there. So in verbal reasoning, these questions were there. Statement conclusion was present, right? There was an HR based situation question, right? So these were there in verbal reasoning. any questions that you have from your end? 2 to 3 English as soon as we, let's say, get the questions right. So currently, these are the questions that I have got from my team and I've discussed these with you, right? As soon as I get them, we'll probably plan a session for that as well. Okay, so this was, I hope I've discussed some questions for some of you, right? Some of you took it at 4:30, some of you took it at 2 to 3. So I hope कुछ के लिए discuss हो गया. And yes, these were the question types. This is the feedback that I have got. Okay, these are the inputs that I have got, right? And yes, this is it from my end. If you don't have any queries, original, दूसरा वाला नकली था, is it? Uh, The expected cutoffs, I think Srinivas sir has already discussed this with you, right? What we are expecting as the cutoffs. So I'll not repeat this part. Uh, I'll just, we'll try to collate questions on the 2 to 3 wala slot, which you're calling the original slot. Chalo, great, great. I hope your experience of taking the paper was good. And see, because most of the questions were on the easier side, I'm sure that you would be sure of your answers there. If, let's say, there are any questions that confuse you, if you watch this session later, you can post the ambiguous ones in the comment section. Okay, I'll reply there. Right? Parts of speech question where there was a sentence and I marked effect as an adverb. But effect is not an adverb. Effect is either a noun and in rare cases it can also be a verb, but it is not an adverb, right? So if I say this had a bad effect on him, there it is a noun. If I say he effected some changes, he effected some changes, there it is a verb. So I think in your sentence it was a noun and not an adverb, right? All right, all right. So, watch the session that Srinivas sir just took, okay, before this, and there he goes into a detailed discussion of the cutoffs, okay, for various colleges. So you can watch that, right? I don't have anything to contradict or add to it. All right. So yes, you can stay connected. Do post the questions that you find ambiguous in the comment section, and I'll respond there. Okay, I'm pretty active there. So yes, you can stay connected with us through these platforms. You are already there on YouTube. Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely, Ayush. Sure thing. And yes, thank you for attending. I'll see you perhaps with another session. Okay. Bye bye on Snap. Thank you. All right. Bye.